everyone, it's Miss Madison here, and today we're making a cloud craft. So let's get started. So this is what you'll need for this craft. You need 6 pieces of construction paper. You need white and pink construction paper, but you can choose the other 4 colors. I chose blue, red, green, and purple, and the purple's hiding under the blue. You need glue, scissors, a hole puncher, some ribbon. It could be any type you want. It does not have to be this fancy. A ruler, a pencil, a Sharpie. This step is optional, but you can use some star stickers to add a little bit more. I just had some stickers left over. That's all you need. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is take your white construction paper and you're just going to draw a cloud on it. It can be any style or shape or size that you want it to be. Just draw a cloud. So this is the cloud I drew. So then cut out your cloud. So once you're done cutting out your cloud, what you want to do is just set aside the paper that it came with, and you can use that for a later craft. And we're going to start with our cloud face. So what you want to do is just draw a little face on your cloud. It could be however you want it to be. We do have the pink construction paper to make the cloud blush, so you can do that, or you could just draw whatever face you want on it. It's your decision. Okay, so this is the face I drew. I just gave the cloud some eyelashes. So now we're going to set that aside and take our pink construction paper out. And what you want to do is just cut off a little bit of an edge here. You do not need all this. This can be set aside for another craft. All you need is about this much for the next part. So what I'm going to do is just draw a little circle on it. Now that I have that circle, what I'm going to do is just fold this paper over. So it should look like this. It should be folded and it has a circle on it. And you're just gonna cut that out, and you're going to have 2 circles that are the same size. So once you have your 2 circles for the cheek blush on the cloud, all you have to do is glue them onto the cloud, and you'll have something that looks like this once you glue them down. So once you glue the cheek blush on here, what I'm going to do is take my 2 remaining small stars and just put them onto the cheeks, just to add a little bit more to the cloud. But this step is optional. You don't have to do this by any means. So this is what my cloud ends up looking like with the stars and the blush. So after I do that, I'm just going to outline the pencil with the Sharpie that I had. When you do that, it'll end up looking something like this. And then we're going to set it aside, and we're going to get our construction paper out. Now, before we do anything with that construction paper, we're just going to take one of the pieces of construction paper. It doesn't matter which color or which one you take, and we're just going to draw a heart on it. What you really want to make sure is that the heart is much thicker than the ribbon that you have. It's all about trial and error. After some trial and error, I finally drew a heart that I thought would be good enough to hold the ribbon. Because really what's just going to happen is that the ribbon is going to be laced through here with the hole puncher. So I'm just going to cut out that heart, and then we're going to use that as a model for the rest of the hearts. So once I cut out my heart, I am just going to trace it once on all of these construction papers and twice on the red and the pink, and I'm going to cut those out. You picked your own construction paper color, but in the end you should end up with 2 red hearts or whatever color you chose, 2 pink hearts or whatever color you chose, 1 purple, green, and 1 blue in whatever colors you chose. Now we're going to get started on attaching them to the cloud itself. We're just going to take some of this ribbon. So I measured about 4.5 inches off of the side of the cloud. So the part that's hanging off is about 4.5 inches long, and that's just for the first attachment of the hearts on here. So it doesn't matter how long it is behind the cloud, but what matters really is how much is hanging down, because you want to have the same measurement on both sides so it looks more uniform. So once I cut out this first piece of ribbon that is a little bit more than 4.5 inches long so that I can attach it behind here, I'm just going to measure it up exactly against here, and I'm going to cut one out that is exactly the same size as it. Once I do that, I'm just going to cut one out that is a little bit longer than these 2. So now that you have one more ribbon that's a little bit longer than the other two, we're just gonna attach all of them to the cloud. It doesn't matter as much how much of the longest string is hanging out of the back here, but you do want to make sure that your two shorter strands have the same amount. So again, just make sure that 4.5 inches are hanging off the edge here, or whatever measurement you decide on, and the middle one can be anything, and then of course the other one that would also be 4.5 inches hanging down. So just try your best to attach that first, and then after that we are going to attach the hearts. So once you have glued down your ribbons, and these two are the same height and this one is a little bit longer, this is what it looks like on the back, we are finally going to attach our hearts to them. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one of the hearts that has two colors. Mine is the pink and the red, so I'm going to just hole punch on the side here, one up here and one down here, and I'm going to hole punch that on one pink and one red on the same side. So you should have a pink heart and a red heart, or whatever color you chose, with two hole punches on the same side at around the same angle. We're going to thread them through this ribbon here. So you are going to take the ribbon here and you're just going to thread the heart through. So what I'm gonna do is just put the ribbon through the back part of it, and I want it to really appear on the front so you can see the design of the ribbon. So I just poked it through the back and then brought it through to the front and poked it through the other hole, and then I slid it down. You have to be very careful during this part because the construction paper could easily rip, but you'll end up with something like that. And then we're going to repeat it with this pink heart. So when you're done, you'll have the red and the pink threaded through, and we're going to do that with the other strands too. So after you thread the hearts through, you should have something that looks like this, and we're going to do this exact same thing but on the other side. So what you want to do is line up your red heart and your pink heart, and you're going to see which side you hole punched it on, and just hole punch it on the opposite side so that we can have the same effect on this side. So then you should have, again, these hole punched hearts, but it's going to be on the opposite side that these ones were hole punched on, and we're just going to thread it through the same way we threaded these ones through. So after that, everything's pretty much starting to come together. We have something that looks like this, and we just have to do this middle strand now. So we're going to take our other 3 hearts, and what we're going to do is actually just hole punch at the top here and at the bottom here. So we're going to create 2 hole punches, one here, one here. Once I finished hole punching these center hearts here, I just thread them through like I thread these ones through, and it ended up looking like this in the end. So I'm just going to hole punch it at the top here and put some more ribbon through it and tie it, and then we're done. And that is your little cloud decoration, and you can hang it anywhere you want. And yep, I hope you liked today's craft.